अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन। एक्सप्लोरिंग द वर्ल्ड ऑफ इंश्योरेंस में आप सबको खुशामदीद कहते हैं। जैसा कि इस चैनल के इंट्रोडक्शन में आपको बताया गया था, हम हर टॉपिक पे 3 तरीके से वीडियो तैयार करेंगे। पहले मरहले में हम किसी भी पॉलिसी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंडोर्समेंट क्लॉज को इंग्लिश ज़बान में पढ़ेंगे ताकि किसी डॉक्यूमेंट को सही तरीके से पढ़ने का अंदाज वाज़िया हो सके। ये वीडियोस चैनल की प्लेलिस्ट रीडिंग अ डॉक्यूमेंट इंग्लिश में अपलोड कर दिए जाएंगे। दूसरे मरहले में इन तमाम वीडियोस का उर्दू वर्जन तैयार किया जाएगा और ये वीडियोस चैनल की प्लेलिस्ट रीडिंग अ डॉक्यूमेंट उर्दू में अपलोड कर दिए जाएंगे। आखिरी मरहले में इन तमाम टॉपिक्स को तफसीलन डिस्कस किया जाएगा और ये वीडियो हर टॉपिक की मुताल्लिका प्लेलिस्ट में अपलोड किए जाएंगे। आइए देखते हैं आज हमारा टॉपिक क्या है।
Fire policy. In consideration of the insured named in the schedule hereto paying to the name, insurance company, hereinafter called the company, the premium mentioned in the said schedule. The company agrees, subject to the conditions contained herein or endorsed or otherwise expressed hereon, which conditions shall so far as the nature of them respectively will permit be deemed to be conditions precedent to the right of the insured to recover hereunder, that if after payment of the premium the property insured described in the schedule or any part of such property be destroyed or damaged by fire and or lightning at any time before 4 o'clock in the afternoon of the last day of the period of insurance named in the said schedule or of any subsequent period in respect of which the insured shall have paid and the company shall have accepted the premium required for the renewal of this policy, the company will pay to the insured the value of the property at the time of the happening of its destruction or the amount of such damage, or at its option reinstate or replace such property or any part thereof, provided that the liability of the company shall in no case exceed in respect of each item the sum expressed in the said schedule to be insured thereon, or in the whole the total sum insured hereby, or such other sum or sums as may be substituted therefore by memorandum hereon or attached hereto signed by or on behalf of the company. Conditions. Condition 1. If there be any material misdescription of any of the property hereby insured or of any building or place in which such property is contained, or any misrepresentation as to any fact, material to be known for estimating the risk, or any omission to state such fact, the company shall not be liable under this policy so far as it relates to property affected by any such misdescription, misrepresentation, or omission. Condition 2. No payment in respect of any premium shall be deemed to be payment to the company unless a printed form of receipt for the same signed by an official or duly appointed agent of the company shall have been given to the insured. Condition 3. The insured shall give notice to the company of any insurance or insurances already effected, or which may subsequently be effected, covering any of the property hereby insured, and unless such notice be given and the particulars of such insurance or insurances be stated in or endorsed on this policy by or on behalf of the company before the occurrence of any loss or damage, all benefit under this policy shall be forfeited. Condition 4. All insurances under this policy. 1. On any building or part of any building. 2. On any property contained in any building. 3. On rent or other subject matter of insurance in respect of or in connection with any building or any property contained in any building, shall cease immediately upon any fall or displacement. A. Of such building or of any part thereof. B. Of the whole or any part of any range of buildings or of any structure of which such building forms part. provided that such fall or displacement is of the whole or a substantial or important part of such building or impairs the usefulness of such building or any part thereof or leaves such building or any part thereof or any property contained therein subject to increased risk of fire or is otherwise material. And provided that such fall or displacement is not caused by fire, loss, or damage which is covered by this policy or would be covered if such building, range of buildings, or structure were insured under this policy. In any action, suit, or other proceedings, the burden of proving that any fall or displacement is caused by fire as aforesaid shall be upon the insured. Condition 5. This insurance does not cover 1. A. Loss by theft during or after the occurrence of a fire. B. Loss or damage to property occasioned by its own fermentation, natural heating, or spontaneous combustion, except as may be provided in accordance with Condition 7, F, or by its undergoing any heating or drying process. C. Loss or damage occasioned by or through or in consequence of 1. The burning of property by order of any public authority. 2. Subterranean fire. D. Loss or damage directly or indirectly caused by or arising from or in consequence of or contributed to by nuclear weapons material. 2. This insurance does not cover loss or damage directly or indirectly caused by or arising from or in consequence of or contributed to by ionizing radiations or contamination by radioactivity from any nuclear fuel or from any nuclear waste from the combustion of nuclear fuel. For the purposes of the Condition 5 Subcondition 2, only, combustion shall include any self-sustaining process of nuclear fission. 3. This insurance does not cover costs and expenses arising from loss or destruction or damage caused by pollution or contamination except destruction or damage to the property insured caused by pollution or contamination resulting from a peril hereby insured against. Condition 6. This insurance does not cover any loss or damage occasioned by or through or in consequence, directly or indirectly, of any of the following occurrences, namely: A. Earthquake, volcanic eruption, or other convulsion of nature. B. Typhoon, hurricane, tornado, cyclone, or other atmospheric disturbance. C. War, invasion, act of foreign enemy, hostilities, or warlike operations, whether war be declared or not, civil war. D. Mutiny, riot, strike, lockout, military or popular rising, insurrection, rebellion, revolution, military or usurped power, martial law, or state of siege or any of the events or causes which determine the proclamation or maintenance of martial law or state of siege. E. Any act of terrorism. For the purpose of this condition, an act of terrorism mean an act, including but not limited to use of force or violence and or the threat thereof, of any person or group of persons, whether acting alone or on behalf of or in connection with any organization or government, committed for political, religious, ideological, or ethnic purposes or reasons, including the intention to influence any government and or to put the public, or any section of the public, in fear. Any loss or damage happening during the existence of abnormal conditions, whether physical or otherwise, which are occasioned by or through or in consequence, directly or indirectly, of any of the said occurrences shall be deemed to be loss or damage which is not covered by this insurance, except to the extent that the insured shall prove that such loss or damage happened independently of the existence of such abnormal conditions. In any action, suit, or other proceeding where the company alleges that by reason of the provisions of this condition any loss or damage is not covered by this insurance, the burden of proving that such loss or damage is covered shall be upon the insured. Condition 7. Unless otherwise expressly stated in the policy, this insurance does not cover a. Goods held in trust or on commission. B. Bullion or unset precious stones. C. Any curiosity or work of art for an amount exceeding Rs 2,000. D. Manuscripts, plans, drawings, or designs, pattern or molds. E. Securities, obligations, or documents of any kind, stamps, coins or paper money, checks, books of account or other business books, computer system records. F. Coal, against loss, or damage occasioned by its own spontaneous combustion. G. Explosives. H. Any loss or damage occasioned by or through or in consequence of explosion, but loss or damage by explosion of gas used for illumination or domestic purposes in a building in which gas is not generated and which does not form part of any gas works will be deemed to be loss by fire within the meaning of this policy. I. Any loss or damage occasioned by or through or in consequence of the burning, whether accidental or otherwise, of forests, bush, prairie, pampas or jungle and the clearing of land by fire. Condition 8. Under any of the following circumstances the insurance ceases to attach as regards the property affected unless the insured, before the occurrence of any loss or damage, obtains the sanction of the company signified by endorsement upon the policy, by or on behalf of the company. A. If the trade or manufacture carried on be altered, or if the nature of the occupation of or other circumstances affecting the building insured or containing the insured property be changed in such a way as to increase the risk of loss or damage by fire. B. If the building insured or containing the insured property become unoccupied and so remain for a period of more than 30 days. C. If property insured be removed to any building or place other than that in which it is herein stated to be insured. D. If the interest in the property insured pass from the insured, otherwise than by will or operation of law. Condition 9. This insurance does not cover any loss or damage to property which, at the time of the happening of such loss or damage is insured by or would, but for the existence of this policy, be insured by any marine policy or policies except in respect of any excess beyond the amount which would have been payable under the marine policy or policies had this insurance not been effected. Condition 10. This insurance may be terminated at any time at the request of the insured, in which case the company will retain the customary short period rate for the time the policy has been in force. This insurance may also at any time be terminated at the option of the company, on the notice to that effect being given to the insured, in which case the company shall be liable to repay on demand a rateable proportion of the premium for the unexpired term from the date of the cancellation. Condition 11. On the happening of any loss or damage the insured shall forthwith give notice thereof to the company, and shall within 15 days after the loss or damage, or such further time as the company may in writing allow in that behalf, deliver to the company a claim in writing for the loss and damage containing as particular an account as may be reasonably practicable of all the several articles or items of property damaged or destroyed and of the amount of the loss or damage thereto respectively, having regard to their value at the time of the loss or damage not including profit of any kind. B. Particulars of all other insurances, if any. The insured shall also at all times at his own expense produce, procure, and give to the company all such further particulars, plans, specifications, books, vouchers, invoices, duplicates or copies thereof documents, proofs and information with respect to the claim and the origin and cause of the fire and the circumstances under which the loss or damage occurred, and any matter touching the liability or the amount of the liability of the company as may be reasonably required by or on behalf of the company, together with a declaration on oath or in other legal form of the truth of the claim and of any matters connected therewith. No claim under this policy shall be payable unless the terms of this condition have been complied with. Condition 12. On the happening of any loss or damage to any of the property insured by this policy, the company may a. Enter and take and keep possession of the building or premises where the loss or damage has happened. b. Take possession of or require to be delivered to it any property of the insured in the building or on the premises at the time of the loss or damage. c. Keep possession of any such property and examine, sort, arrange, remove or otherwise deal with the same. d. Sell any such property or dispose off the same for account of whom it may concern. The powers conferred by this condition shall be exercisable by the company at any time until notice in writing is given by the insured that he makes no claim under the policy or, if any claim is made, until such claim is finally determined or withdrawn, and the company shall not by any act done in the exercise or purported exercise of its powers hereunder, incur any liability to the insured or diminish its right to rely upon any of the conditions of this policy in answer to any claim. If the insured or any person on his behalf shall not comply with the requirements of the company or shall hinder or obstruct the company in the exercise of its powers hereunder, all benefit under this policy shall be forfeited. The insured shall not in any case be entitled to abandon any property to the company whether taken possession of by the company or not. Condition 13. If the claim be in any respect fraudulent, or if any false declaration be made or used in support thereof, or if any fraudulent means or devices are used by the insured or any one acting on his behalf to obtain any benefit under this policy, or, if the loss or damage be occasioned by the willful act, or with the connivance of the insured, or, if the claim be made and rejected and an action or suit be not commenced within 3 months after such rejection, or, in case of an arbitration taking place in pursuance of the 18th condition of this policy, within 3 months after the arbitrator or arbitrators or umpire shall have made their award, all benefit under this policy shall be forfeited. Condition 14. The company may at its option reinstate or replace the property damaged or destroyed, or any part thereof, instead of paying the amount of the loss or damage, or may join with any other company or insurers in so doing, but the company shall not be bound to reinstate exactly or completely, but only as circumstances permit and in reasonably sufficient manner, and in no case shall the company be bound to expend more in reinstatement than it would have cost to reinstate such property as it was at the time of the occurrence of such loss or damage, not more than the sum insured by the company thereon. If the company so elect to reinstate or replace any property, the insured shall, at his own expense, furnish the company with such plans, specifications, measurements, quantities, and such other particulars as the company may require, and no acts done or caused to be done by the company with a view to reinstatement or replacement shall be deemed an election by the company to reinstate or replace. If in any case the company shall be unable to reinstate or repair the property hereby insured, because of any municipal or other regulation in force affecting the alignment of streets, or the construction of buildings, or otherwise, the company shall, in every such case, only be liable to pay such sum as would be requisite to reinstate or repair such property if the same could lawfully be reinstated to its former condition. Condition 15. The insured shall at the expense of the company, do and concur in doing, and permit to be done, all such acts and things as may be necessary or reasonably required by the company for the purpose of enforcing any rights and remedies, or of obtaining relief or indemnity from other parties to which the company shall be or would become entitled or subrogated, upon its paying for or marking good any loss or damage under this policy, whether such acts and things shall be or become necessary or required before or after his indemnification by the company. Condition 16. If at the time of any loss or damage happening to any property hereby insured, there be any other subsisting insurance or insurances, whether effected by the insured or by any other person or persons, covering the same property, the company shall not be liable to pay or contribute more than its ratable proportion of such loss or damage. Condition 17. If the property hereby insured shall, at the breaking out of any fire, be collectively of greater value than the sum insured thereon, then the insured shall be considered as being his own insurer for the difference, and shall bear a ratable proportion of the loss accordingly. Every item, if more than one, of the policy shall be separately subject to this condition. Condition 18. If any difference arises as to the amount of any loss or damage, such difference shall independently of all other questions be referred to the decision of an arbitrator, to be appointed in writing by the parties in difference, or if they cannot agree upon a single arbitrator, to the decision of two disinterested persons as arbitrators, of whom one shall be appointed in writing by each of the parties within 2 calendar months after having been required so to do in writing by the other party. In case either party shall refuse or fail to appoint an arbitrator within 2 calendar months after receipt of notice in writing requiring an appointment, the other party shall be at liberty to appoint a sole arbitrator, and in case of disagreement between the arbitrators, the difference shall be referred to the decision of an umpire who shall have been appointed by them in writing before entering on the reference, and who shall sit with the arbitrators and preside at their meetings. The death of any party shall not revoke or affect the authority or powers of the arbitrator, arbitrators, or umpire respectively, and in the event of the death of an arbitrator or umpire, another shall in each case be appointed in his stead by the party or arbitrators, as the case may be, by whom the arbitrator or umpire so dying was appointed. The costs of the reference and of the award shall be in the discretion of the arbitrator, arbitrators, or umpire making the award. And it is hereby expressly stipulated and declared that it shall be a condition precedent to any right of action or suit upon this policy that the award by such arbitrator, arbitrators, or umpire of the amount of the loss or damage if disputed shall be first obtained. Condition 19. In no case whatever shall the company be liable for any loss or damage after the expiration of 12 months from the happening of the loss or damage unless the claim is the subject of pending action or arbitration. Condition 20. Every notice and other communication to the company required by these conditions must be written or printed. Condition 21. This insurance is subject to the laws of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan and the exclusive jurisdiction of the courts in Karachi.
जी नाजरीन, इस वीडियो में हमने डॉक्यूमेंट्स के कंटेंट्स को आपके लिए पढ़ा। अगर हम डॉक्यूमेंट्स के कंटेंट्स को सही तौर पे पढ़ पाएँ तो मजमून पे हमारी गिरफ्त काफ़ी हद तक मजबूत हो जाती है। इस वीडियो का मकसद लोगों के लिए इंश्योरेंस के डॉक्यूमेंट को सही तौर पे पढ़ने और समझने में सहूलत पैदा करना है। अगले मरहले में इन डॉक्यूमेंट्स का उर्दू तर्जमा आप लोगों की खिदमत में पेश किया जाएगा। उम्मीद है आप हमें अपनी राय से आगाह करेंगे ताकि हम बेहतर तौर पर इंश्योरेंस की तमाम पॉलिसी एंडोर्समेंट क्लॉजेस को आसान इंग्लिश और उर्दू में ट्रांसलेट कर सकें। इस वीडियो को देखने के लिए शुक्रिया। अपने फीडबैक से हमको आगाह कीजिएगा। अल्लाह ताला हम सबको अपनी हिफ्ज़-ओ-मान में रखे। आमीन।